All right. Well, I'm going to get started with our awards night. And thank you, all of you, for joining us. Last I looked at our numbers, we were about 40. So that's fantastic. I really appreciate you all taking some time on a beautiful evening and coming in to join with us and be a part of our awards night. As I was saying earlier, kind of rambling around, but this is really different. And we've never done anything like this way. Basketball awards night I always look forward to, as I was saying, because it's just a great way to end the season and thank people and recognize people and get started on the next season. And, right now everything's such in limbo that it's kind of weird, but we'll do the best we can and hopefully it works out. So once again, thanks for being here. Before I get started, I'll just kind of tell you how it's going to go. I'm going to start and recognize some people. If I forget somebody, please don't be offended. I tried to put everything down, but, I always forget something or a group of people. So please, I apologize ahead of time. We'll recognize some of our groups. We'll recognize our managers and our different teams. Each of the coaches will talk about their own team. And then we'll show awards. Our participation letter awards, our academic all-state, captain, statistical awards, our all-conference, and our last couple awards. And then we'll finish off. And at the end of the meeting, I'll talk about getting uniforms back and picking up your certificates and awards and that sort of thing. So that's kind of how it's going to go. And first, again, I want to start with thank yous. And basketball is a long season. We said that at the parent meeting at the beginning of the season. And it is. It's a long season, and this was a unique season. We had lots of things happen. It was a different season from the beginning to the very end. The way it started and the way it ended, and so lots of people stepped up and did great jobs. And I want to thank you. The whole community. The community has been real supportive of us this year, and I just want to thank everybody, our businesses. And all of the people, all of our fans that come out and support us, they did a great job. Our student body, the Glacier High School community, everybody, they really did a great job supporting us this year. We're very fortunate to have a great administration that supports athletics and supports our basketball program. And Mr. Hill and Mr. Dennehy and Mr. Fours and Mr. Labrum, I really appreciate them. As well as our central office administration. So they did a great job supporting us this year. We had I'd say the nicest facility in the conference or in the state, and our custodians do a great job of keeping it that way. They do a great, they take care of us. They washed our jerseys for us every day. The gym always looked great. And so I want to thank them for doing a great job. I'd be remiss not to thank Carrie Ann. She kept us together. We had some injuries this year, and Carrie Ann she was at every practice and did an outstanding job. And I've worked with lots of trainers, and in my opinion, she's the best we've ever had. So, she did a great job, and I really want to thank her and the time she put in. David Barr, maybe our best fans were the pep band. They were at every game, every conference game, and they were cheering and they were enthusiastic and they were playing great, providing great atmosphere. And I appreciate them every year. And so I just want to thank David and the pep band for supporting us. Our cheerleaders did a great job again this year. They've gotten better and better and better. And their routines and that sort of thing that they do are fantastic. And so I really appreciate the support they had for us. Our drivers, it's different now than it used to be when we had our regular transportation. And, you always had the same guys. And now we have different drivers, and they've all done a great job. And I want to make sure I thank them. And then I want to make sure I thank our two principals at Edgerton and Rankin, Jen and Marissa, for letting us use those buildings to practice in. If we didn't have those facilities, practice would be a fiasco. And for them to allow us to come in there and use those facilities, it's much appreciated. So I want to make sure I thank them. And again, as I said, I want to come back and thank the community one more time, because we are fortunate to live in a great community, and they have supported us. For you parents, a special thank you to you. You guys were awesome this year. You supported your kids. You supported us. You did an amazing job. And again, as I think, just some of the different things we had, your participation and membership in the Booster Club, Melissa England and those that helped us get our baskets together for the auction night. Wow, amazing job. And I just really want to thank you guys for doing that. The posters, we had our JV varsity posters and Mrs. Price came in and helped get that going and rounded up and taken care of. And I want to thank her and everybody else that helped us out for that. The breakfast, we didn't have that many morning breakfasts at the varsity level, but we always had something that brought in by the parents. I know that they did it at the JV or at the freshman and the sophomore level too. And so again, thank you very much for that. It's not easy to get up that early and then late and then do the team dinners. And we had some great times with different team dinners. And for all you parents that helped out with that, it is much appreciated. The snacks on the road trips that we took, the coolers, the snacks, I know the kids loved them. And it really helps us as far as, for not having to stop at every convenience store on a road trip and that sort of thing. So again, really like it. The Glacier Freeze, it didn't go this year, but I had tons of parents that were already helping me. Sue and Dan Allen getting ready, helping me with shirts and everything like that. We were ready to go. And that's the most help I've ever had before the tournament even started, before I ever asked or solicited help. I had lots of you parents saying, hey, what are we going to do? What are you going to need us to do? And it's appreciated. And hopefully next year when we run it again or later on, we still haven't decided if we're going to try and rerun it, but I'll be in touch with you. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate all you parents. I want to thank my coaching staff and their wives, especially their wives. When we get together, we're gone for a long time. And that's hard to do. That's hard on relationships. And I really appreciate the time that my coaching staffs, my coaches have put in, and I appreciate their spouses for supporting them in that, because it takes up a lot of time, and we have a very dedicated group of coaches, and they can't do that without support from home. So I do want to thank all my coaches, as we get ready to go. I really want to thank our senior class. This was a special group of guys, and each of them unique in their own way. These 6 guys, they're going to be one of, I'm always going to think fondly of this group, and I'm going to go through them just a little bit. Dylan Riffle, when you talk about a kid that wanted to be a player. I'm not, to be honest, there's, in the off season, I'm thinking, I don't know if Dylan can make it. And then we get closer and he would make every open gym and every shooting and every tournament. And I say, wow, he might make it. And then by the end, hey, he's going to make it. And I am so proud of Dylan for his just stick to itness and being around. And wow, what a great attitude and what a great team player. He was the happiest for when the team was successful. He didn't worry about his minutes. He wanted the team to be successful, and that's a great quality. And I really appreciated that with Dylan. Anthony Heath, it is tough to come into a program and your senior year, and especially Anthony with the transfer rule had to sit out an entire semester to come in, and he did a great job coming in that second half of the season and being a big part of our team and helping us out. And, I really do appreciate Anthony coming to our program and being a part of the Wolfpack. KJ's been on the JV and varsity since he was a freshman. And there are very few people that I can think that have committed themselves to not only basketball, but to Glacier athletics. KJ was a committed football player. He was a committed basketball player. He was dedicated, and he put a ton of time in and got better and better and better. And it was great to see his confidence grow and grow and grow. And by the time this senior year, I thought he was having a great year. And unfortunately, as we all know, he injured his ankle at Big Sky and was out for the rest of the season. But wow, what a great story he was from where he was from a freshman to where he came as a senior, and the growth I saw in KJ, it was just awesome. And then, Michael, again, you talk about committed and work. Michael didn't miss anything, and he made himself into the player that he became. I'll talk about Michael next, or towards the end here, as I talk about our top 10 lists. And Michael, as a freshman, you didn't know where he was going to be, and he committed, and he got better and better and better. And as a senior, he's going to leave being one of our all-time three-point leaders. And so he's done a great job making himself better as a basketball player. And again, and as with all of these guys, what a great person he is. He's well-rounded. He's great in the classroom, and he's got a great attitude. And so I've really appreciated Michael. Jonah has done a great job as well. Jonah, when I think of Jonah, I think of toughness. Jonah is a tough, hard-nosed kid. Again, very committed, multi-sport athlete. Didn't play football for a year and then came back and got back into it. And that's hard to do when you miss that year of football and try to catch up. And so, he could have very easily just focused on football, but he didn't. He still stayed focused on basketball and did a great job for us. And again, one of the toughest guys around was Jonah, and I really appreciated his effort. And Drew, again, we have a kid here. He's been with the JV varsity for 4 years. He's a great competitor. We'll talk about him more later on. We talk about our top 10 stuff. He's a natural leader. He was a great person for me to have this year as a senior, coming in, sharing ideas, talking, making sure I kept pulse with the team. And he's got a huge heart, and he's a great athlete, but an amazing person, and he treats people well. And I just a great guy. And I'm, as I look at all this group of guys, I just want to thank them and make sure they know that I will do anything I can in the future to help them out. So thanks, guys. I really appreciate your effort and your commitment, and you guys as people. Thank you very much. Our managers this year, you can't run a program without great managers, and we had some great ones. We had 6 great managers. We had Hunter and Sierra, our seniors, and they went on all our road trips, and they kind of made sure that we got everything done statistically. They kind of ran the show when we were on the road, and they did a great job for us. Austin and John, they tried out this year and unfortunately weren't selected, but then came and allowed their passion for basketball to keep them in the program, and their enthusiasm. John, I know, helped the freshmen, helped Coach Fuller a ton. Austin with us at the JV and varsity. Their enthusiasm and their passion for the game was awesome. Braden, helping our sophomore group, then doing our book for our JV and sophomore games on the road. He was in the pep band. He did all sorts of great things to help out his dad on the sophomore team and help me out when we were on the road. And so it was great to have him as a part. And Shell came on kind of late, but then became a part of our program and came to every practice. And he kept everything in perspective for us. When things got a little tough, Shell made us laugh. And his enthusiasm and his love for the players and the coaches, it made you smile, and it kept things in perspective. And so I want to make sure I thank Shell for that part of the season.
Hey, Coach Harkins, can I interrupt you there for a second?
You can.
The creator of the slideshow, Coach Fuller had a running joke when he'd do attendance on the bus every year or every game with a what about Jackie? And I realized that I forgot Jackie's name on the slideshow also. So I guess maybe it's a little bit fitting, but I wanted to make sure that we showed some love for her also. And all
of course, Jackie was with us on every road trip, did a lot of filming for us, and very consistent and very dependable. And again, thanks for bringing that up, Wake, because I would have forgotten to mention anything too. So thanks a lot there. So I want to thank my managers. All of them will receive letter awards, and they did a great job. And I hope that those that aren't seniors stay involved in our program next season. And they're much appreciated. And thank you very much. I'm gonna sign off here for a few minutes, and I'm gonna let Coach Fuller come on and talk about his freshman team. Connor came in and right as the season was getting going. I thought he did a great job with his kids. So, Coach Fuller, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks, Coach Harkins. Yeah, first of all, I just want to thank everybody involved in the program, the coaching staff, the parents, the kids for when that transition happened. It was pretty emotional and very grateful that I was able to jump in there, and everyone accepted who I was and accepted my coaching style and accepted me as part of the Wolfpack program, not only as a player before, but now as a coach. And it's a wonderful thing that we have going on here at Glacier High School, especially with this basketball program. It's incredible. But if you jump into our team, if you can see there, man has 12 awesome, actually 13 awesome young men. It is a privilege to coach them. I cannot wait to see their growth. They are if you ever watch them play, athletic, as can all be group. All of them can play up and down, can do play inside and outside. I'd also say that if you ever watch them play, they just compete, right? When I talk about each kid on this group, the word competitive is going to always be a part of each one of them. Stats-wise, you look there, it was pretty awesome. If you look at our overall stats, we were pretty similar in a lot of ways, right? Like, I know for our scoring leader, Tyler McDonald beat Xavier Stout by 1 point, right? Xavier had 166, Tyler 167. Just kind of showed our depth that everyone could score. And it's better for the program to have kids that can go score and go play defense. If you go through our lifts, through our pitch right there, starting with Jack. Jack had a great year, especially coming off an injury. Talking about a selfless individual who had surgery at the beginning of the year and ended up fighting his way back and finding a lot of minutes at the end of the year. We are a better team with Jack. We're a better program with Jack. So toughness and all that is awesome. Next is Tyler Avery. If you ever watch that individual play any sport, right, you see the passion and competitive edge that guy has. A lot of great things happening for Tyler Avery, not only just here for basketball, but I mean for life. Next is Travis Egan up there, one of our posts. Travis is another incredible athlete. He can jump, he can run. Led us with tons of rebounds. There's a big win we had versus Butte where he had 16 rebounds and kind of put us over in that big win for us over in Butte. So it's not easy to win in Butte. Next is Ashton Barton. Ashton ended up having an injury early season, concussion from the wave, athletic center whitefish. So stay away from the wave. You'll get hurt. But Ashton is another just great athlete. I think he has the highest vertical probably in our program. He can jump, and honestly, the best block in freshman basketball ever. Ended his career, ended the season with a broken wrist, but it was really cool. What a way to go out. Next is Jay Savall. Jay Savall actually probably second in vertical there. What an incredible athlete, and just a great story of a kid who has a lot of passion for sports. And he's using that as a great outlet in life. And we are all better to have Jason on our team. And the love he shared with his teammates, it was incredible, the growth he had. Next is Xavier Stout. As I said, second in points. Xavier can run, jump. I think Xavier would have had an incredible track season if maybe it still pans out for us. Xavier absolutely can stroke it. I cannot wait to see Xavier's growth. He has a lot of potential there. Going to be a kid that can flat out score at any level. Bottom left, we'll go with Cade Bowles. Cade had a fantastic end of the season. If you haven't seen his half-court shot yet on Huddle, get on it. It's awesome, right, versus Helena High in that first quarter. Cade had talk about growth, right? A lot of skill there. He grew up. He got a lot tougher, and he was able to do anything he wanted in the basketball, defensively, offensively. Had a great finish this season, and there's going to be another kid who's going to be a program player. He's going to help us out. Then Jeff Lillard's next. Jeff, another kid who would have had a great track season if it would have came out. But Jeff is a basketball fiend, right? He's a gym rat, as they call it. He loves playing basketball. He is a great basketball player. The more he plays, the better he's going to be. So in a couple of years, watch out for Jeff. Tyler McDonald, as you can see, Tyler led us in 2 different categories as a point guard. He has the hardest job ever, him and Cade. Never complained once, gets challenged a lot. Is one of the most coachable young men I've been around. And Tyler McDonald is going to do great things. Got 4 left, guys. Whew. Mac is an awesome story of a kid who's a varsity athlete in a different winter sport, but is able to spend time with us and dedicated to 2 things. Mac has some of the, I don't know, craziest footwork I've ever seen. I don't know how he never travels, but he never does. Made some great plays. And Mac is a kid who can play the 1 through 5. Last three here, we got Gage. Gage is a true leader, a young man who honestly is a kid who kids want to be around and who want to follow. So if I'm a kid at Glacier High School, I'm going to follow Gage and see what he's going to lead us to. A lot of great things in the future and everything he does. Adam Nikkinen, I should have mentioned Xavier also was one of our captains voted on by the team like Adam, right? And that shows a lot about both of their characters and Adam's character of he is one of the most competitive, defensively tenacious young men. He grew a lot offensively, getting better and better each time. He kept telling me about his shot. I don't know why. I love his shot. But I love what he talked about his body language a lot and how he was going to improve it. And I saw that growth, and it made him a better basketball player. Last on that list is John. Awesome story about John is we asked him to manage. He says, yes, he comes to every single practice. He actually many times practiced with us, never complained. Even when we had to run lines, John was on the line with us. If I was in his shoes, I would have been doing that, no doubt. But John was a great addition. He was a kind of a glue guy, as they say, for our team, right? People want to be around him. He has a great sense of humor, even though he's really quiet. Coach Wake loves to joke with John. John loves to joke back, I think. Not sure, but John was the best. One of the best things to happen to our team there is him sticking around. To conclude it here, first of all, thanks to all these players and parents. I had a wonderful, wonderful time with this group. It was fun first of all, it was fun just to see their growth of kids from all over the valley, right? And that's kind of the hard part about Glacier is, I mean, we're kids from West Valley, from Evergreen, from Edgerton. Well, I mean, KMS, Russell, Edgerton, we're just all over the place. And we kind of have our little groups, but it's that melting pot when we all get together, get on the same page, have the same vision, that those great things that Glacier High School can do happen. So this group is on the way. It was exciting to see them grow as friends, as teammates, as young men, and thank them all for everything they've done this year and an awesome 10-9 record and 8-6 in conference. We're going to get better next year, though, for sure. Coach Wake or Coach Harkins, that's all I got.
Thanks, Coach Fuller. You did a great job, and thanks again for the outstanding job you did with this team. Freshman guys, you had a great season. I enjoyed watching you play and get better. So well done. Coach Wake, I'm gonna turn it over the sophomore team over to you.
All right. Wow. So I guess I'll start on my script first and kind of just work through there. It's hard to put in words how I feel about this team. Every year as coaches, you always kind of compare the teams that you have, the teams of the past. And there's some years that, teams fall in the middle and others that they fall a little bit lower. This was a team that will always be at the top of my favorite teams. And the reason for that is they were one of the most selfless groups that I've ever had the pleasure to be with. They genuinely wanted to see their teammates succeed in games, in practices. We had fun. We didn't have drama. They came every day. They worked hard. They wanted to get better. They won with class and they lost with dignity, which are two of the tenets that I really, really preach. And they did such a wonderful job of that. Our record, we finished 10-9 overall. We had a conference record of 9-5, so I feel really good about where we're finished in our conference. Stats-wise, we put up some great numbers. We scored almost 1,000 points on the season. We gave up about 901, which was really a team that I've never had a team that scored as consistently. And we weren't a great scoring team. We were a team that prided ourselves on our defense and on our team defense. We got out and pressed from the opening tip-off and really made other teams adjust to the way we wanted to play. I'm not going to go through everyone as individuals because I'm recording this call and I'm going to end up crying. I don't need that to come back. I'm a few years now, but I want to share some highlights. I have 3 highlights of the season that really stick out to me. The first one was, overall, the positive attitude of our bench was infectious. The team, they really want to see their teammates succeed, and the cheering from the bench was always an atmosphere that I looked forward to. And the video replays, breaking down on Huddle, the replays of the bench sometimes is more entertaining than watching the game itself. But no bench atmosphere was more fun than that of our 35-point blowout of Flathead at home, because everyone contributed to it, and the players that started spent a ton of time on the bench and they never checked out. The players that started on the bench, they got so much time on the floor, but no one rested for a single second in that game, regardless of score. Everyone, they just kept cheering their teammates on. What stands out specifically about that game is it was Adam McCurry's first start. John Pyron left the last 3 games of the season. So Adam's first start was in the Crosstown game, and he stepped into kind of our most important defensive role for that game. And I think a lot of the reason he succeeded so much in that game because he knew that the love of his teammates was there for him, and they were going to support him, no matter what happened. The other highlight, other two, man, I got to talk about that game down in Butte. I've never been a part of a game before that finished with the opposing team only having 3 players left. It was just a weird atmosphere to be in. We still won the game by 12, but you look back on the stats, and that group of 3 kids, they played us even in the 4th quarter. They had a little bit of help from their friends in the Stripes, and we a lot of ice and a lot of bruises on the bus on the way home. But to have the other team only have 3 players left when the game was done was just a crazy situation. And then one of the best moments of the season for me, and this is what I'll end on. In January, this part wasn't the best part. In January, Sentinel beat us by 29 points in Missoula, and it was a rough loss. It was not a fun game to coach. It was not a fun game to play in. The locker room wasn't a great atmosphere during or afterwards. It was easily our worst outing of the season. But when they came back to our gym in February, we gave that Sentinel team their only loss of the season. And walking off the floor and listening to the Sentinel players talk, I'll never forget that. They were absolutely shell-shocked. And it wasn't that they overlooked us. They got out early in that game. They led the first quarter. Sentinel was up 21-9. But after that, man, we put the clamps on defense. We held them to 4 points in the second. We held them to 6 in the third. And our team defense just carried us through on that. Noah's 6 blocks in that game probably didn't hurt either. But that's just a highlight I'll always cherish, in a team that I'll always cherish. And then lastly, 2 of my 3 boys got to manage for us this season. Boz is right here hanging out with me tonight, and Braden as well. Having the opportunity to have them be around such great citizens, even though Braden's a classmate of them, Bozzy's not, Bryson's not, and I love just being able to share my boys with such a great team. So that thank you so much, sophomore team, and I'll turn it back over to Coach Hartz.
Thanks, Wake. Great job this year, guys. And again, as I said to the Fresh, I enjoyed watching you guys play and get better all season long. So well done. Thanks, Coach Wake. Now we'll talk about the JV team. The JV team was coached by Coach Cutler. Coach Cutler, I'll turn it over to you.
All right. Thanks, Coach Harkins. Just want to start off by kind of like what everyone else is doing, just thanking all of the parents and all of the players for such a great season, and for all of the hard work and energy and just the commitment that you've shown towards this program. It's just really cool, and I really appreciate everything that you've done for this program. And this season was, I think, just full of a lot of emotion, lots of ups and downs, just throughout the entire season, even starting the season. I know a lot of the guys that I got to coach this year had Coach Avery as a coach, and that's hard. That started the year off on a really, I think, difficult foot, and then there was just, it was a roller coaster year, and I think looking back on the year, though, I can see 3 main ways that this team really got better, and not necessarily better as basketball players, but just better as people and individuals. And I think ultimately, when I look at, all of the things that I've done with the game of basketball as a player, I think what you end with at the end of the day is, how has this made me a better person? And I think this season was one that I think all of us could look back on and say, this season really taught us a lot of things and really made us better people in the end. And the first thing I would say is perseverance. And since we're doing this on our computers, I was able to Google perseverance just right here. So I got the definition here. It's persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. I think that's super true especially for my team. Just just having to deal with emotional difficulty at the start of the season, and maybe not seeing, the wins that we wanted to right off the bat. And that's kind of basketball, is just learning how to persevere through difficulty. And, it's not easy being a JV player. I had 3 different classes on my team, from freshmen from freshmen to juniors, and a mix of everyone. And it's hard to mesh as a team, and just, it's tough with playing time, even with all the guys we carry. I mean, I had 12 guys on my bench for most of the season, and trying to get everybody significant minutes is hard. And the guys were pretty good with that, and they really were understanding of one another, which leads me to my second thing that I think we really got better at in terms of basketball, as well as just life in general, is teamwork. I think a lot of my guys grew in their mentality of team first, me second mentality. And I have a couple of examples that I want to bring up of just the little blips that I saw this year. And I'm sure there was more that I didn't see, but from other guys also, because I think overall, all of my guys really learned how to be good teammates. And I can just think of a couple. I can think of, I was subbing some guys in at the end of the game, and I put Luca in, or I was checking him into the game, and he's sitting at the scorer's table ready to go in, and he says, "Coach, why don't you put Andrew in so that he can get some more minutes?" And I said, "Oh, okay." So Luca came over to the bench, and I put Andrew in the game. And so that was just one example, like I said. And then at the end of the year, I know Jack Weber had a little, not a little injury, I guess. It was a pretty bad injury there in the middle of the season. And I remember him getting into our last game and actually hitting a 3, and just the bench reaction was like we had just won, the national championship or something like that. It was just amazing. And so I think that just spoke volumes to, how far we had come this season, and coming together as a team, which was really cool. And then the last thing is just, I think as a team, all the guys on my team really understood the value of little things. And we talked a lot about it as we went through the year, but just focusing in on those little things and realizing that really all those little things are so important that they're really not that little. Whether it's diving on the floor for a loose ball, or cheering for your teammates, or not getting down on yourself and keeping your confidence. I think all of those little things really showed up huge for us this year, and we just got better. And so that was really cool to see. Yeah, I mean, some highlights, like Coach Wake was sharing some highlights. Definitely one of my highlights was that Flathead victory at home. I know that was kind of one of the more wild games. I'll definitely remember that one for a long time, with Kyson running on the floor and and me missing my chair. That was always a good one too. And so we just had some great memories. And I think that's what's really cool about high school basketball, is you just do get to make, some great memories. And I thought we did that this year. And again, I just want to thank all my players and all the parents of my players and all of that, and the other coaches as well, for just a really great year, and just being able to grow as people is really a unique opportunity for us to all come together as a Wolfpack family. So thank you, and thanks to my players.
Great job, Coach Cutler. Thank you. And again, great job on the season for the JV guys. It was fun. We get to work together every day, and the special group of guys for sure. I'm going to talk about the varsity team for a few minutes. And to start, I'll start with some highlights, I guess. Michael Schwartz sent me this the other day. He was going to use it for an assembly at school. And he said he had it and he wanted to share it with me. And I thought, what a great way to start talking about the varsity team. So we'll start with some highlights, and then I'll talk about the team.
Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name dim up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know him. But no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Tox picking it up. Let's go.
Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still leaving him starstruck. Humble through opportunities, given despite the fact that many misjudge him cause he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, got a picture connects, never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote, his will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds, the skill of an artist.
This is 20% skill, 80% fear, be 100% clear, cause Ryu was ill. Who would've thought he'd be the one that set the West in flames? And I heard him wreck it with the crystal method, name of the game. Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Ryu had the stupidest verse, this dude is the truth. Now everybody giving them guest spots and stocks through the roof. I heard he f***ing with that stock.
This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
They call him Ryu, he's sick and he's spitting fire and Mike. Got him out the dryer, he's hot. Found him in Fort Minor with top, but a f***ing nihilist porcupine. He's a the type women wanna be within rappers. Hope he gets 8 years in the making, patiently waiting to blow. Now the record with your notice taking over the globe. He's got a partner in crime, his is equally dope. You won't believe the kind of that comes out of this kid's throat.
He's not your everyday on the block. He knows how to work with what he's got, making his way to the top. He often gets a comment on his name. People keep asking him, was it given that birth or does it stand for an acronym? No, he's living proof. Let him rock in the booth. He'll get you buzzing quicker than a shot of vodka with juice. Him and his crew are known around as one of the best. Dedicated to what they do and give 100%.
Forget Mike, nobody really knows how or why he works so hard. It seems like he's never.
You look and you watch that, you got pictures of everybody contributing, and that's what I loved about this team is their unselfishness, the fact that they really cared about each other. They got along well, and they all did it. We didn't have the cliques that we might have had sometimes in the past. Our seniors got along with our juniors. We just had everybody got along, and everybody accepted everybody, and so that was really special for this team. I talked a little bit about our 6 seniors. I think I'd be remiss about not talking about a couple of the juniors also. Kiefer came this year as a junior, ended up starting at the point. The point is a tough position to play. I expect a lot out of our point guards, and Kiefer did an amazing job. I thought he did a great with his leadership, and just had a great season. JT Allen came in, provided that toughness for us. He was our guy that would get the rebound that needed to be gotten. He was the guy that would be our enforcer, and he's incredibly competitive, and I love that. He did a great job, and just helped us out a ton. Jackson Olson came in, ran the wing for us. He has kind of a unique looking shot sometimes, but he hit a pretty good percentage. We saw a couple of those on the highlight video. He gets to the rim as well as anybody. He blocks shots well, and he just had a great season. And he's just funny. He's one of those guys on the team that always made me smile. He worked incredibly hard and had a great season. And I loved his attitude. And finally, Weston Price came in. He played quite a bit for us as a sophomore and came in and became a scorer for us, and an all-around team guy, and had a great season. And so, you put those juniors with the seniors, and then it was a great season. And I really appreciate them. I appreciate the parents and their support. And, they did a great job. So thanks a lot, guys. It was special for me. Participation awards. I'm not going to go through all the names right now. You'll see them here. The athletes at participation awards. Sometimes people kind of poo-poo that. To participate in a basketball season it requires incredible commitment. You made it through the season. You were at practice every day, and there's a lot of peaks and a lot of valleys, so these are important, and I'm proud of these guys for having great seasons and getting their participation awards. as the season went on and as they finished, and every single one of them grew and every single one of them got better, not only as basketball players, but I thought as people also. And so well done, guys. Great job this season. Our letter award winners. Our letter award winners are you can earn a letter by playing substantial varsity minutes or making our tournament team. Again, you can see a great group of guys up there. We have our 6 seniors, but you also see there are quite a few other guys up there, and everything from freshmen, sophomores, juniors on that list. And so that's pretty exciting. Each of these guys had a great season. Each of them contributed in their own right. And again, they were awarded letters this season for Wolfpack basketball. We had 6 guys receive academic all-state honors. To receive academic all-state, you have to letter in a varsity sport and you have to have a 3.5 GPA. That's hard to do. And these 6 guys, I was just notified of this today. They were all received academic all-state. I'm proud of these guys. I really, we stress the classroom, and these guys excel in the classroom, and they've done a great job. So congratulations, fellas, for your work in the classroom as well as in the basketball court. Every year we have our captains, and our captains are chosen 3 ways. We ask our captains from the previous season to pick one. We ask our players to pick one, and we ask our coaches to pick one. We feel that gives us kind of 3 different avenues, 3 different types of leadership styles. And I think we got that with our 3 captains this year. And so as we look at our captains awards, awarding for this year, Drew Englert, I've talked about Drew already, a fantastic leader, a fantastic person. Drew has a huge heart. He's active not only in athletics, but around the community with our Special Olympics, with all sorts of other programs. Academically, he does a great job. And so he was a great leader for us. I really appreciated Drew coming in. He'd been with me for 4 years, and I think we had developed a relationship where he was comfortable coming and talking to me and expressing frustrations at times, giving me ideas, and he did a great job. So I want to thank Drew for his leadership. Michael, again, here's a guy that I thought, when you think of a guy that begins at one level and works his way to a varsity level, that's Michael. Improved every year, and I think the kids recognize that. And he was also one of our captains, and again did a great job. Had no problem coming to talk to me about ideas. Hey, maybe we try this. Whether that be with different, drills or other things, he did a great job and had excelled as a leader in our program. And our 3rd captain was KJ Johnson. Very different leadership style. KJ is a lot quieter than the other guys, but again, he's just solid. Everybody knows how competitive KJ is. Everybody knows how committed KJ is. And everybody knows how much KJ cares. And sometimes that's the kind of leadership style you need. You don't have, maybe he's not very vocal, but they just know that they can count on KJ. And so we were fortunate to have 3 great leaders this year. Thanks, fellas. Statistically, with the varsity, we always award certain statistical awards. These guys will get plaques for these as we go. The most points, our point leader was Weston Price this year as a junior. He had 257 points. Great job this season, Weston. Weston's an inside-out threat. He's a tough guard. Rebounds, Drew Englert had 128. Led us by far rebounding. Drew has excelled as a rebounder in his career, and we'll talk about that more in a little while. Steals was Michael Schwartz. Michael Schwartz had 16 steals on the season and led us there. Assists was Drew Englert. And again, we'll talk about Drew's as a passer in a few minutes, but that's pretty impressive. When we asked Drew to score, we asked Drew to rebound, and we asked Drew to be a distributor. That's a lot of things, and he did a great job there. And free throw percentage, Anthony Heath was 85% from the free throw line this year, and that was the team high. So well done, guys. all conference at the end of every season, and we did this over a computer as well. We didn't meet this year, but we the coaches in Western AA get together. We nominate guys, and then that's it. We can't vote for our own players. And this year the conference was loaded. There was a lot of very, very talented players out there, and we had 2 guys get recognition, voted on by the other coaches in the conference. Again, not by me. And so one of those guys was Weston Price. Weston got second team all conference this season, very deservingly. And Drew Englert was honorable mention all conference, and again had a great season. So congratulations to those 2 guys. They will get all conference certificates sent out by MHSA. I've referred to this quite a bit, and I want to go through. We keep our top 10 lists of the whole program's history. And there's a lot of great names on there. And this year we have a couple different additions to our top 10 list. And so just to start with Drew, Drew is going to be in the top 10 in rebounding, assists, and he's number 4 for both of those all time, and number 7 in point scoring. To just kind of put that in a little bit of perspective, the guys ahead of Drew were all. We had Shea Smith-Wickham, we had Ryan Edwards, and we had Jackson Hashley. That's pretty good company right there. I'm really impressed with the assists one. All of the assists, the leaders above Drew in the assists are all point guards. Drew is our highest assisting forward type player we've ever had. He was a great distributor and did a great job. And then he's number 7 all time in points being scored. And so Drew has had a great career for the Wolfpack, and I'm really proud of him, and I'm excited for him in the future and to watch him be successful there too. Michael and KJ both also made our top 10 lists, and they made it as shooters. Michael made our number 8 all-time three-point shot, and KJ came in right behind him at number 9. Again, there's some pretty great shooters on that list, and to make that top 10 is pretty impressive. And so well done to all 3 of these guys for making our historical top 10 lists. The one award we voted on this year as a team, this is not coaches, this is a team. The one award we voted on was the Wolfpack Way. We began the Wolfpack Way last year, and you can read on the screen right here, the Wolfpack Way. Again, we look at different characteristics. We pass this criteria out to the players. Humility, passion, unity, servanthood, and thankfulness. Last year, Coach Avery came up to me with this. He got it from Butler, and he said, "Coach, I think this is a great idea for us to do." And we did this, and I thought it's amazing. I like it way better than voting for most valuable or this or that. I think this, encompasses, all sorts of things that we think are important. And so each team voted. And as we look at it, 44 votes were cast out of 46 that were out there. 18 different players received votes, which I think speaks a lot to the quality or the character of our players. There wasn't just 1 or 2. 18 different players received votes from their other teammates. And I guess what I'd say to you guys out there is never underestimate your role and your impact you have on your teammates, because little things make big differences. And so great job. And I'm going to have each coach from each team give their award. So Coach Fuller, I'm going to have you go first.
Thanks, Coach Harkins. So the freshman award recipient, if you look at the list, I don't think it's up anymore, but I have it on my screen. The 5 things: humility, passion, unity, servanthood, and thankfulness. He demonstrates all 5, but the one in my mind that is more than anybody else, I would even say in our program, is passion. This kid has passion for basketball, passion for life, and the passion to make friends and compete. And our freshman Wolfpack Way Award recipient, and as you said, his father, put this award up for the team, and no doubt does he deserve that. And it's probably molded from that man there. That's Tyler Avery.
Good job, Tyler.
Congratulations, Tyler.
Coach Fuller or Coach Wakefield?
Yeah, so at the sophomore level, it's fun to kind of think about what were your teammates, when they cast their vote, what criteria were they looking at? We know those 5 words, and Coach Fuller talked about it a second ago. I'll mention them again: humility, passion, unity, servanthood, thankfulness. That's tough criteria. On our team, we had 4 players that received votes, but the leading vote getter, if I walk around in the heads of the people that cast votes for him, I went with the first thing I wrote down was, as a team, one of our core values was humor, and this player always made us laugh, kept things light during good times and in bad. As a leader, he was positive and supportive to everyone, and he was a pain in the butt to everyone that he got an opportunity to guard. And with that, he was the tip of our full court press defense. So every defensive possession started with his effort, and he just never backed down, and his teammates, always would play off of his effort. And our winner was John Pyron.
Congratulations, John. Well done. Coach Cutler?
All right. So the JV Wolfpack Way Award goes to a guy that, those 5 things have been read, and when I was looking at him, I was like, wow, that good choice, guys. So I got to coach this player for 2 years, and it was just a joy, and it's been fun to see him grow into a true leader for our team, and just not necessarily leading with voice, but by example, and just through sheer toughness and maybe playing a little bigger than he had to at times, guarding some bigger guys, but just battling every single game. One of our traditions at Glacier High School is put-ups after the end of a game, which is basically just the guys go around and they give each other compliments about some things that they did well with at the end of the game. And I think this person got one just about every game. I really can't think of any time where he didn't get a put-up from a teammate. So it kind of makes sense. And so the Wolfpack Way Award for the JV team goes to Ethan Deedy.
Congratulations, Ethan. Had a great season. I know he was banged up a little bit and played through some pain, and very deserving. The Varsity Wolfpack Award, again, I was really curious to see who the boys voted for, thinking of the criteria. We had several different guys get votes. I think, again, several guys deserving, but you can't go wrong with the choice the boys made either. Great leader, very committed to our program, showed growth every season. And so the Wolfpack Way Award winner for the varsity is Michael Schwartz. Congratulations, Michael. All right, we're almost done. I appreciate you guys staying with me. Just a couple things to go through. To tomorrow, for starting at 10 o'clock, if you come into the gym on the north end of the gym by the boys' team room, there'll be some tables set up. You can drop off your uniforms then. Please have your name on them somewhere in tape or something like that. And there'll be a table there. There'll also be a table where you can come in and you can pick up your awards, your letters, your certificates, your posters for JV varsity. All of those will be there for you to pick up and grab those sort of things. So that we'll try and get that done there, get as many things in as we can, starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Most of you guys are on, but we have a classroom, a Google Classroom set up for Wolfpack basketball. Everything up to this point has been dedicated to getting ready for tonight. But from here on out, starting tomorrow, we're going to start putting up some workouts. I know many of you have your own workouts. That's great. If you're struggling for a workout, I'm going to put a workout up there that doesn't require any sort of weights or anything like that. It's all body weight, jumping, and that sort of thing, working on some explosion and vertical leap. We did parts of this a couple years ago with some of the guys in the summer. I think it'll be pretty effective. As far as summer activities, tournaments, camps, we're up in the air until the government and the governor and the school and the community leaders make decisions. We'll go with what's there. And right now we're shut down. If things start to open up, we will jump on as fast as we can. And all of this sort of stuff, again, will be posted on the classroom. Starting Monday, I'm going to put out there, and I'm going to grab some of our juniors and not grab physically, obviously, virtually, and put some teams together. And I'm going to put together kind of a team shooting program where we're going to see which team can make the most shots between now and the beginning of school in September. And so we'll have the criteria there and put it together and just have a little competition. Obviously, we have to obey social guidelines and social distancing and those sort of things. But finding a park or a basket in your driveway and getting some shots up will be just fine. And so that's kind of what will be coming down here in the future. So as we get ready to go, I'm going to try and real quick. I'm going to try and get out of this and get back on. I don't know if I'm back on or not now, but I just want to say thank you to everybody for a great season. It was like Coach Cutler said, it was full of adversity. There was a lot of tough times, but there was a lot of great times also. And we had I have many fond memories, and I'm going to keep this season. Again, I'll have a lot of fond memories about this season. Seniors, if there's anything I can do for you down the road, whether that be write letters of recommendation, or you don't even have to ask me if you can use me as a reference, just put me down. Anything I can do to help you out, to help you move on in life, I will do that in a second. To the rest of you, like I say, we're kind of in limbo right now, but we'll get through it, and we will just adapt as we have to go. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you very much, coaches. Thank you very much. Great season, and I will hopefully see you soon. Y'all take care.
Hey, Harkins.
Yeah.
Hey, before you go, I just want a quick thank you. I know you've taught me for several years now, and you've coached a lot of us other seniors. And I think just on behalf of the whole team, we just want to thank you for all your time and effort you put into this team. Your commitment's unbelievable, and we really appreciate all that you do. And I think the biggest thing is just we want to thank you for making us better men, for making us better people as a whole. And I'm going to miss you. I really thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you very much, Drew. I'm going to miss you and all the rest of you guys as well. You got a huge spot in my heart, and you guys, you were awesome. So you made me a better person. So thank you.